Alright, race fans, in this video we're going to take a look at an adaptation of a concept in the search for a decent wireless controller unit for HO. It's led me to this Carrera unit. I think it was for Evolution. 2.4 gigahertz, probably Bluetooth if I had to guess. They didn't exactly say that, but I'd imagine that's what it is. So I bought one and took it apart, took the screws off the bottom of this housing on the bottom here, as you can see, and the track here was fixed to the bottom of that. Once I had that off, these wires here, this particular little small red wire has a metal slide connection that actually just went in and slid into these existing points on the Carrera tracks. It doesn't even look like Carrera even had a specific piece of track made for this. They just had a very unique adaptation. So once I saw how this worked, I had a piece of track here that already was wired up for you know, screwing a plastic track down to a table and using a 3-wire hookup system. So I had an extra piece, and it within a couple of minutes and some connectors adapted the thing and plugged it in, and the darn thing worked. So we are going to set this up on a Tomy track. The particular track that I have to work with, the set pieces are quite old, so they may not perform as well as I'd like, but it'll be good enough to test the concept. The Carrera power supply is a 2-wire setup where you have 2 particular connectors that connect into the track. But I don't know if you can see this or not. But it's 14.8 volts at 350 milliamps per lane, or about 1/3 of an amp per lane. So the whole unit's only 0.6 of an amp. That's probably not going to be enough for some of the cars that we want to run. So we are going to employ our power hack system, which is essentially nothing more than a universal laptop battery charger. This particular one is adjustable from 12 to 24 volts. And I took another Carrera power supply, whacked off the plugs, put it onto the adapter for the adapter for the adapter, and we'll see how that works. That's probably going to give us plenty of power, because that's a 5-amp unit right there. So let's get everything set up, and we'll go run some cars and see how the concept works. Alright, race fans, we're going to look at a concept here, wireless remote control for an HO setup. Some years back I dummied up a system using a SCX infrared unit, and it was terrible. There was just a tremendous amount of lag. You couldn't hardly drive the thing at all. This is a Carrera wireless. I think it's 2.4 gigahertz for their Evolution set. It was not for a digital. But I bought it figuring that we could adapt it, and indeed we were able to do that. You take the existing wires and then from the piece, and you solder on some pieces on the bottom of the track, and you can make your connections, and it all works pretty good. The original power pack with Carrera is maximum output of about 14.8 volts, total of about 0.6 of an amp, and they split it to 3.5 or 0.35 amps per lane. So that's not a lot of amperage. And during some testing of this, when you have higher magnet cars, they suffer pretty bad. Even one lane, a lot of times the cars are not very fast because they need to draw an amp, and you don't have it. So we've got out our trusty power hack here, and this is set on 15 volts, and we've got a maximum of 5 amps. We took the plugs off of another Carrera unit and soldered them all up, so we have everything ready to go. The controllers have batteries in the bottom and a charging station, and it works really well, and we'll demonstrate that here in a minute. We'll get our other test driver in here, and we'll run some cars and show you how it works. But the best thing is you're not tethered to short wires. You don't have to sit on the floor if both of you are on one side of the track here and the car is off. If you have a wired controller, somebody's got to stop, get up, go get the car. Where here, you split the job up. Somebody sits over there, somebody sits here, and it makes marshaling the cars, I think, a lot easier. And you just feel better all the way around that you're not tethered to a wire. It's really quite unique. All right, so we'll get into running some cars here in just a second. All right, guys, we're back here testing out our wireless controller hack, which essentially is a 1/32 Carrera wireless system with our power hack power supply. So right now we're going to set it on about 16 volts, which approximates most current factory power supplies, and run a variety of cars and see how well the thing does. All right, first of all, we're going to try out the Auto Whirl cars that came with this set, which are Super 3. Alright, so that's at 16 volts. And let's just go ahead and run it on up to 24 with this particular car. Alright, so that car can take up to 24 volts and be drivable. This is another Auto Whirl car that came with the set that I put a 6 ohm armature in. And let's knock it back to about 18 to start. And run it up to 24. All right, let's try some Mega G cars. Mega G Plus. These actually came in a recent set. And here again, let's knock it back to 18 to start. And there's another one here. This one may be a little faster. Alright, and let's try an Auto Whirl Super 3 Indy car. I hopped this one up, last year sometime. It's probably got maybe a 3 ohm, 2.8 ohm armature, and it's a better gear set. Let's give it some more power. We're running on up to 24. Alright, so it's drivable up to 24 volts. And let's try a Lifelike T car. It's pretty much a stock Lifelike T car. I think the only thing I did was put some super tires on the back. Let's run it back to 18. And run it on up to 24. Alright, the last card we're going to run is an old Tomy Super G Plus that I fixed up with just a standard 6 ohm armature, Viper level 4 motor magnets, and the half height level 10 traction magnets. It's got a stock gear set in it, but it does have our aftermarket hubs and super tires on it. Let's turn it down to 18 to start. Alright, and we'll give it some more juice. Let's just try it at 20. See how that does. Alright, so there we have it. We've tried a number of cars with our wireless hack and power system. It's very, very responsive, even with the very fast cars. I think it could have some potential one day if something like this could be brought to market for HO. Alright, thank you very much.